Hello everyone, welcome. I'm Tyler Rudland and this is Brush Sauce Theater, episode 22. So, using a photo reference is a convenient and rewarding way to make drawings and paintings if it's done right. There's a lot of pitfalls to avoid when doing this, and so if you're interested in, at least my techniques or different ways from going from photos to painting, and you're finding that your paintings are coming off a bit stiff and the colors are flat, this may be the video for you. And as usual, I'll include a demonstration and I'll follow up my 3 personal tips for loosening up your painting, followed by my normal Q&A segment. So let's begin. Alright, so here we begin, and I'd like to start by filling my canvas with as much color as possible. So I'll just color pick this with the eyedropper tool to get a good base. Now I can start laying in these gradients to start getting that subtlety and the skylight, and I can just drop them in left and right, up and down, like so. I can have them start strong in the middle and taper off towards the outside. Really just punching in this color. Now I can begin to color dodge this, and it will just burn up that sun and basically glaze all that light right in the canvas, and it will kind of paint itself for me so I don't have to do much. And now I can just suggest in that sand and add the reflection, and we should be good to go. Again, just using eyedropper to get a good feeling of what color I should use. No, but I'm not actually learning anything this way, and this is still just a stiff representation of this photograph. So what went wrong? Is it the tools, the technique, or both? Let's take a look. There are a lot of problems, as I just showed, that can arise from relying too heavily on photographs for your reference or your basis for your painting. So, if I'm using that as my sole source of inspiration, you can really just see here it lacks the depth, the value, the color, and the saturation of reality. So what was I doing wrong there? Well, I was using the eyedropper tool. That's picking my colors from the photo. That's not helping me as an artist loosen up with my color and try to learn and, put down what I perceive. Also, I was using the gradient tool a lot, and that is just filling the canvas with automatic swashes, not helping me with my color selection skills. And then lastly, I was trying to copy the photo one for one. And that is not the goal of an exercise like this. The goal is to be able to loosen up, kind of experiment, and maybe even to warm up, in general with my colors, my brush strokes, and my mark making. And I wanted to show you the wrong way of doing it first, because I feel as humans we tend to learn from our mistakes. So you can just learn from my mistake in that photo and try to see what to avoid. And now I'm just kind of getting a little playful with these colors. I'm splashing a few colors, based off of what's in the photo, but I'm trying to embellish what is there to give a new sense of life, to make it not as flat or stiff. I took this photo personally. That kind of helps because I was there, I was on the spot, I looked around, I felt the air, and I remember everything about it very vividly, and I'm going off of my memory. I close my eyes for a moment when I'm painting this, and I'm just laying down some marks based, avoiding actually looking at the photograph, because I want to be able to remember what part of me saw there that day. Yeah, I can't recommend doing these enough. They're just super helpful. So to sum up my last point, all I wanted to say was stimulate your memory more. Either look at the photo for a few minutes and then hide it, or just try to harken back to a deep memory of something specific that can help you paint the picture better. Secondly, I would say consistency in your light source is a high priority. For instance, if I took 20 different photos, which I recommend doing in a situation like this instead of relying on one, I can go back and kind of manipulate and make my own landscape within the scene, within the setting. I can put these mountains in the background like I'm doing now. And it's just helpful to rely not on one source. So one last note regarding color, and that has to do with saturation. If, for instance, I'm placing high areas of saturation like around the sun, as long as I'm surrounding them with kind of neutrals and desaturated colors, it creates a sense of balance. And it's just a gentle play throughout an entire scene like this of, saturation and value versus, low saturation and contrast, basically. So that all ties into harmonizing your palettes and your painting. So I don't know if beaches are my favorite type of scenery to paint, but I certainly do enjoy them, and I can learn a lot from them, particularly with the lighting. It just leaves so much room for skies. They're perfect for painting skies. Here where I live now, I'm just surrounded by trees, and I don't get a good view of such things anymore. What type of environments do you all love to paint? Leave me a comment, down below. I'd love to hear, and then maybe even I can make future episodes about kind of how to approach certain types of environments. Because yeah, I do have a certain strategies or tactics on how to get through each type. But that basically concludes this. Now for my 3 tips. So finally, for my first tip on loosening up, try painting upside down. Rotate or flip the canvas vertically, and doing that takes away the symbolic recognition of what things are, helping you paint shapes more simple. Alternatively, number 2 is you can try painting with your non-dominant hand. That'll help you free up your brush strokes, and again, you'll become more loose and you'll start to accept more sloppy brush marks. And number 3, try painting a different music. The tempo and beats can really just help the way your move and arm flow as well. And so that's it really. Hopefully you'll be able to take away something from these tips and help you try to, make your work a little more lively and fluid without kind of getting stiff and flat color in it. And now for the Q&A portion of the episode. Cedric from Facebook had sent this over, and he had got it to this level and he was getting kind of stuck, as a lot of us do. It's quite normal. It's not terrible by any stretch of the imagination, but what we could do is a few quick tricks to sell that this is underwater. Because right now the only true vibe that you get that it's underwater is we have a fish and a couple bubbles, but we're not getting that depth and atmosphere. This is my paint over and my suggestions, so take it for what it is. Yeah, it's really kind of quick mock-up, 5 minutes. I made a few canyons and cliffs to help push that depth. I wanted to add a lot of color, all in the foreground there. Just study lots of ocean photography, and and even use the photos in your picture to paint over and get inspiration from. So that's what I did. And lastly, compositionally, this fish was just kind of facing off the canvas and was not kind of adding anything to the composition. So I want to if you're gonna have it all in there, then maybe even make it just a bit smaller. But yeah, that's the quick fix anyway. Yeah, I watched the light, how the water refracts, and it will come in and hit the surface of this cool structure you have, and then continue to just clean up all these forms, layer by layer depth, and that should bring you out a lot with the depth of this scene anyway. So here we go, we select that, we take this, maybe put this on I think an overlay mode would be fine for this one, so it's so dark anyway. And you can clean up edges like this and make all the valleys and everything. But yeah, it's a fantastic piece. Just keep pushing it, work on the color, variety, the subtlety, the depth of the atmosphere, the light, and you'll have a fantastic image. Alright, but thank you for watching, everybody, and subscribe if you like it, tell your friends, and take care. Also, I'd just like to take a moment for a few reminders. Feel free to click the link below to join the Brush Sauce community. It's free, anyone can join, it's on Google, and you can post work, get feedback from others, and we have monthly challenges, and it's just a great place to share your work back and improve. Secondly, I also run my own private mentorship. It's one-on-one, and you can find information from my main website, again, link below, or feel free just to leave a comment or email me, ask me any questions you might have to see if it's a good fit for you. I'm also setting up a Patreon account right now to extend my mentorship into all price ranges and levels of affordability, but more updates on that in the future. For now, thank you for watching, and take care.